But it's great at the beach when the weather is particularly bad because you can hunker down and have it very close to you. I use these really wonderful little watercolor pencils that I use. And then I could go over them in pastels. So I kind of carry that around, some charcoal, a couple extra pastel pencils, and these, if you haven't tried them, they're really great. And I think there's a lot of watercolors probably in the audience. Right? So you know these brushes.
Yeah.
You know. But I've managed to get a kit down to what I call the bare science. So that I can have kit in hand, book in hand, brushes in hand, and noodle around. So that's one of my kits. When I have more time, and I'm actually on location, I got this great box, and I actually have a bigger one that's not total wood. Part of it is wood, part of it is plastic. And this is called the M box, and you could either sling it around your neck, or you can hold it in the palm of your hand, actually. You've got a little strap. And Jeff made me this little piece here, but these things come out and you can actually go wider. I think I could go to about 8 by 10. I had it custom made with this very expensive piece of acrylic so that I could do water-based oils or watercolor. And then you just close it up. You know, it also has a little carrying case that comes with it for your wet pieces. So usually, you know, I take my little portfolio guy out. Foam core is my friend. And I just carry extra pieces, tape it on, hang it around the neck, and I'm off with a new pastel. And, you know, I'm just going off the top of my head because I really don't want to do the same thing, so I'm just messing around. But I usually do new pastel first. And then I'll go softer and softer and softer. What I wanted to do here is I wanted to show you that I can change, even though the underpainting is dark, and do something maybe a little lighter on top. I don't know what color. And I won't change this little one until, well, let me show you the problem with this. Once you start eating through this little nice, and I don't know if you can see, it's already got a little bit of a hole. It's time to move on. NU. Not as in, it is a brand name. And it's a hard pastel. One of the things the reasons that I do this is that I'm actually building up, and you'll see I'm changing, I'll put something darker, I'll do something a little lighter, which is kind of a little bit out of the ordinary for working in pastels. When you're working on a Canson paper or the card, you would start with the darkest first, the hardest and the darkest first, and then go lighter and softer until the end is the very, very softest, which would be probably, in this case, I think probably this little guy. Is Janecki, which is really, really buttery and creamy. And if you go in too early and you start with this, you won't have anything. On this paper, if I decided halfway into this that I didn't like what I was doing, and I have not torn the paper with the brush with a little applicator, I take water and a brush, and I can wipe it all out. Let it dry, start all over. Now you can only do that a certain amount of times on this paper once you start using the creamier ones. But if you're staying with the harder ones, you pretty much can go back in, and you can use the colors to kind of blend. And I don't know if you can see what I just did, is that I used a little bit of a lighter one because what I really want to do is get a little bit more shading on this. What I won't do, and you'll see when I go into the lighter areas, I always start at the top, even if I'm working flat. I'll start with the sky and get at least kind of a basic idea of where I'm going. If I have any idea. But when I work down in here and I'm using lighter colors, you'll see that I'll kind of leave them lined up here. And then I'll look for one that has like a pink tone to it, because then you really don't want to muddy anything. When you're trying to do something either on the horizon with the sky or in the darkest part of the water, then it's fine, because as I say, what I'm doing now is I'm trying to blend and get the semblance of a little change of light. That happens when you're at the beach. In this case, it's going to be like almost being dark. I'm not going to put big clouds or do a moon or anything, because I really want to show you how I do it.